Hello fellow bookworms. For those of you who are not yet familiar with our channel, my name is Alyssa and our channel is Besties, Books, and Brews. So we basically talk about books with me and 3 of my best friends. Every other week we're going to be doing a full book review, and then in the weeks in between we'll be doing just any sort of other bookish content, whether it be trivia about books we've read or just maybe tropes, things like that. But we also wanted to introduce, whenever we read a book, either individually or one that we're reviewing, doing like a 1 to 5 minute summary for everybody who's interested, because we understand that not everybody can watch a 45-minute episode. So this week, I believe tomorrow, we're going to be uploading an episode where we reviewed The Coven by Harper L. Woods. So I'm going to kick the summary off by giving a quick summary of this book. For those that are interested, this is a fantasy book about vampires. They are called vessels in this book, and witches. The main trope is like a teacher, headmaster, student romance. There is a list of trigger warnings in the beginning, so if you are triggered by anything, just make sure you check those out before you start reading it. So our main female character is Willow, and our main male character is Alaric Grayson Thorne. He has 3 names. He goes by all of them. It just depends where in the book or who's talking to him. So Alaric is the headmaster of Hollows Grove University, which is in Crystal Hollow. It's basically a place where all the witches go to get trained, and it's, from what I'm understanding of the book, it seemed like it was kind of on the outskirts of Salem. So Willow has been hiding from this university and all the other witches her entire life. Her mother and her father have been hiding her, and they have been training her for this duty that she has to do when she comes of age. So she's known about it her entire life. It's never, well, I shouldn't say never. Towards the end, you kind of learn more what her duty is, but it takes a long time to get there. So the story starts after Willow's mother passes away, and she has to go to Hollows Grove. Alaric comes to get her pretty much by any means necessary and bring her back to the university. There is a sort of ruling couple, for lack of a better word. They are called the Covenant. Their names are Susanna and George, and they are just skeletons. They have no skin. So they are past witches that passed away, and they were brought back to sort of rule over and protect the witches. Well, they are not doing a very good job of it. There was some sort of massacre that had occurred 50 years prior to when this story takes place, and now they are all of a sudden accepting new people into this university for witches. The events that happened 50 years prior are starting to happen again when they are finding students not alive anymore on property. So the story doesn't really have a ton of like the school aspect to it. You really don't see them in class a lot. The story is mainly just kind of about the weird tension between Willow and Gray. There is not a lot of like romance development between them. I'm not sure if maybe that's because this is the first book and there is just a lot of, fleshing out the story since it's fantasy, and maybe there will be more of that in the second book. In an effort to be totally transparent, the story doesn't develop a whole lot until like the last 40 pages of the book. In the last 40 pages, you get so much information about pretty much what everything in the entire book led up to. The events really start picking up. That was the best part of the book for me, the last 40 pages, and I think it set up nicely for the next book coming out. I would say this book was not very spicy. With the trigger warnings, I was expecting it to be spicier, but to be totally honest with you, I'd maybe give it like a 0.5 on the spice scale. 0.5 out of 5. There was not a ton of spice. For those interested, I don't think it actually starts until page 232, and there's only 291 pages in this book. So it was a quick read, but it was not a very spicy one, and I think it might have been advertised that way. So anyway, if you have read The Coven, let us know what you think in the comments. I know that book 2 is coming out August 23rd, and I mean, I'm so invested in the story at this point that I will definitely be reading book 2, and I'll do a summary at that time as well.